Like, so what was the reason I didn't get hired? It was about my tattoos, obviously, because I know a lot of places don't like tattoos.
Hey people, welcome and welcome back to the channel. Please don't forget to subscribe. So today's conversation is about this video that I came across of a woman who shared her story why she was not hired because of the tattoos she did on the face. So kindly watch her video as well as the stitches, and I'll be back to leave my own comment. Please stick around.
So I wanted to come on here and talk about something that is really starting to annoy me. So I applied for a job at TJ Maxx a few weeks ago and they denied my application. They couldn't even call me. They just sent me some automated email. So I went in today and I was like, so what was the reason I didn't get hired? And she was like, oh, like you just like don't have enough experience. There was candidates that had like more experience than you. And, you know, I asked her if it was about my tattoos, obviously, because I know a lot of places don't like tattoos. She said that wasn't the reason. I don't feel like that's true, but whatever, I'll leave it at that. So I'm just wondering how, like, teenagers and young adults who haven't had a job before, how are they supposed to get employed if these places are only hiring people with experience? So younger people just can't get a job because they haven't worked enough? So, like, they'll deny a 16-year-old a job because they don't have enough work experience. Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, I do okay with money as is, so I didn't, like, need the job, but I would have liked it to have made some extra money so I could pay off my debt quicker. I want you guys to talk about in the comments what it's been like for you finding a job recently, like if it's been easy or if it's been difficult, and I want to know, like, what kind of experience you guys have, because I want to see if I'm the only person that's, like, experiencing this right now or not. And, you know, I hate that my tattoos are such a defining factor for me getting a job or not. Like, just because I have tattoos doesn't mean I'm not going to be a good worker. Like, I do not understand that at all. Because quite literally, some of the most smart, intelligent people I've ever met are people with tattoos and piercings. I could be wrong, but I've seen that, like, in Europe, like, people with tattoos and piercings can get jobs, like, way easier there. So why is America not hopped on the bandwagon? Another thing, too, is, like, all these places, they say that they're hiring, but I feel like they're not. Because I shop at all of these stores and I see hiring now signs, but those signs have been up for months. And I know plenty of people are looking for work. So how have they still not hired people? Sorry for the long ranting video, but I just feel like this is something that needs to be talked about. It's so annoying. And for anyone that is looking for a job right now that is younger and doesn't have experience, I truly wish you the best of luck because it is very hard out here right now.
Kim Kardashian famously said, I would never put bumper stickers on a Bentley, talking about she would never put tattoos on her beautiful body. This young lady is going viral right now because she tried to get a job at TJ Maxx Home Goods and they said that she didn't have enough experience. No, it was about the tattoos. TJ Maxx Home Goods customer base is Generation X, Boomers, and some conservative and moderate Generation Z people. They do not want someone greeting you at the counter and trying to get you to sign up for a TJ Maxx credit card looking like this. And this is not to shame her. This is just to say that you got to be careful when you're doing tattoos and when you're doing any types of piercings or body modifications. People are going to take that into account when they decide to hire you, when they decide to do business with you, when they decide to befriend you, when they decide to date you. Start thinking about these things before you do them, guys.
Today and I was like, so what was the reason I didn't get hired?
It's because you have a demon throat. It's because you have a baby demon spider on your throat. When your throat is visibly on demon time, some employers won't give you a fair shot. And it's not really even the tattoo itself, it's really the placement. There's still a stigma about tattoos, especially face tattoos and neck tattoos, that people really can't shake. Unfortunately, your skill set has to be amazing for them to look past that. Even at that, they still want that clean image to represent their company, which I understand. And don't get me wrong, I love tattoos, especially on women. Don't let a girl have the tattoo behind her ear, or some on her neck, a forearm sleeve, a leg sleeve, bro, a thigh tat. I'm putting in her hands. She seems like a very sweet and nice young lady, but it's the tattoos. That's the reason.
I went in today and I was like, so what was the reason I didn't get hired?
It was 100% because of your tattoos. Now, I don't have a lot of tattoos like that creator does. I have this one and about 3 others, but I've learned very early on about job stoppers and that the types of tattoos you get and where you get them can affect your chances of finding a job or a career. Now, if you're in the creative space or you're in the arts, then you don't really have to worry about this nearly as much. But if you're going to be in corporate America or you're going to be in any kind of client or customer facing role, then this does apply to you. But there needs to be some kind of decorum in a professional or corporate sense. So if you do have tattoos, just make sure they aren't too intimidating, too offensive, and can be easily hidden. Take me, I work in leasing in the real estate field, and pretty much all of us have tattoos in that department. But most of us have them on our arms, legs, or anywhere else that we can easily cover it up with clothes. Only one of my colleagues actually has a hand tattoo, but it's so discreet that you wouldn't even notice unless you actually look. Now, I'm personally all for self-expression. You have every right to do whatever modifications you want to do for your body, but understand that what you do can have consequences on your livelihood when it comes to jobs.
Or if it was about my tattoos, obviously, because I know a lot of places don't like tattoos.
I literally just talked about this yesterday. After getting tattooed, I made a huge choice to get a pentagram tattoo on my neck. And at the time, I was like, oh, here we go. When I got it done, people were like, you're hindering yourself from job opportunities. At this point, I feel like it's pushed the right people away. I don't want to work in a 9-to-5. I'm a creative person. And whether you think tattoos makes you look like a sketchy person, non-trustworthy, not professional, I beg to differ. There are sketchy people everywhere, and people with tattoos can be sketchy. 90% of the people I've met with tattoos are the most kindest, creative, beautiful people I've ever met. And you know why they're that way? Because people treat us like we're thieves and people who just need to be in jail or come from jail. Your judgment of people with tattoos is probably projecting, and maybe get to know the person first.
So I wanted to come on here and talk about something that is really starting to...
Girl, be so fucking for real. I'm gonna be real, I cannot tell if that is satire or not, but I feel like the video is far too long for that to be satire. However, as a heavily tattooed individual, I felt the need to come on here and explain a couple things. One, it is not the amount of tattoos you have, it is what tattoos you have. Also kind of matters where. It is 2024, so tattoos are much more widely accepted. However, you have very aggressive tattoos that you know are going to be offensive to like 85-90% of the population here in the United States, a Christian nation. I'm not saying that's my religion. I'm not saying I'm offended. It's just if you want to work somewhere like TJ Maxx, where most of them are little old Southern ladies coming up in there, do the math. Also, before you go getting tattoos on hands, necks, anything like that, also just FYI, I don't believe in facial tattoos unless you are in very specific career fields. Then do whatever you want. But if you have to work in the general public, maybe hold off. I knew from the beginning what I was going to be doing as a career, and I knew it would require degrees and licenses. So I knew that that was going to upstage my outer appearance. I'm also very much so a people person. I'm very polite. I'm very well spoken, well dressed, etc. So that when people see me, they don't just see me smothered and covered in tattoos. They see a well-educated, smart, pleasant person. And I love proving people wrong in that sense and just helping to kind of like, dissipate the stereotype. But you were aware of the possible ramifications of getting very aggressive tattoos like that on top of like 10 facial piercings. And in my personal experience, jobs that require degrees, licenses, etc., they care less than bottom of the barrel jobs like McDonald's, TJ Maxx, retail, etc. I've worked as a veterinary nurse for 9 years now, and let me tell you, nobody cares what you look like when you're saving their pet's life. And I'm now going into human nursing. Same thing. I also kept it tasteful. There's nothing aggressive, offensive, nudity. I don't have any of that tattooed on me. And that was intentional. I believe in your body doing whatever you want with it, modify it however you like. However, do not be shocked when society isn't on board. Also, if you're a kid watching this, just the takeaway from this, if you're going to get a bunch of tattoos, one, think it through, think about what it is, what other people are going to think about it, and last but not least, get an education.
Okay, I don't have any tattoos. My husband does. He has around 30 tattoos. He has an entire sleeve. Let me tell you where that sleeve stops. Right here. You want to know why he stopped his sleeve right here? So that if he were to go into any job interview, any professional setting, he can cover up his tattoos with a shirt. Now, you can agree or you can say that's awful that he feels like he'd be judged for tattoos. But when we make certain decisions, such as piercings, tattoos, altering our body, talking in any certain way, cussing, we have a freedom to do that. However, we are not free of certain consequences that come with our decisions. I'm not against tattoos, but realistically speaking, if you feel like if you know you're going to have to start applying on jobs, there are certain areas on your body that I would not recommend getting tattooed. I would say the best tattoo artists in this country would tell you to not tattoo your face and to not tattoo your neck, and honestly, not tattoo your hands. Tattoo everywhere, but don't tattoo the main places that people see, especially children. Certain tattoos could be terrifying to children. And not only is location important on tattoos, the meaning behind tattoos can be very important. If you zoom in on some of her tattoos, they are satanic, like they represent evil, okay? If that's how she feels, that's how she feels. However, I will tell you, 99% certainty, if I would have, as a Christian, tattooed on my face, Jesus is King, with Bible verses running down my cheeks, I would be judged for that, and I probably wouldn't be in the career I am today because people would not like that. I'm not saying it's right that people don't like that, but again, we have to understand that certain things we do as humans, there will be consequences. Even if we don't agree with those consequences, how you change your body, people will judge you for that, and you have to be aware of that, okay? I hope she finds a great career that is more fitting for her. I'm not sure if TJ Maxx is fitting for her, but before you go do anything to your body, be aware that unfortunately people will judge you for that, and it could hinder you from any type of professional advancement you're wanting to make. And I'm sorry to that girl, but I'm going to assume it was the tattoo.
You know, I asked her if it was about my tattoos, obviously, because I know a lot of places don't.
Unfortunately, I'm going to tell you the honest truth as an employer. In the construction industry, yes, it's 100% not only your tattoos, but also all your facial stuff that's going on. In the construction industry, you'd have to take all that off. Like, there's just no way you could be able to wear that into the job site. It's just too much of a risk. But the tattoos, back in the day, you know, there was a little bit of a hesitance, but now pretty much everybody's got a tattoo. But always remember one thing. The level, and it is true, the level of your toxicity is war upon you. So I don't think anybody's looking at you as being a bad person. They're just not sure of where you're at. That's it. Good luck. Come in the construction.
They just sent me.
You know, white people. As somebody who has tattoos and loves them, I also have tattoos like on my hands, and I don't go out of my way to hide my tattoos when I'm in professional spaces. I have one behind my ear that you can see like pretty clearly, especially now that my hair is short. I think what this lady is failing to realize is that she quite literally has a pentagram on her chest. It's like, ma'am, you have a devil worshipping symbol on your chest. It's not just the tattoos. Let's be so.
Some people call it discrimination, others call it unprofessionalism. So which is it? First, let's be real. Tattoos are more mainstream now than ever. Doctors, nurses, lawyers, teachers, creative means. Professionals have tattoos, but where you put them still matters, especially in corporate world, customer-facing or conservative industries. A tattoo on your arm might slide, but a tattoo on your face, that's still a major stigma in many places. Employers have a brand to protect. They are thinking about clients, public perception, and company image. If you believe visible tattoos, especially bold or controversial ones, might make customers uncomfortable, they will probably pass on you. It's not always about your skills. On the flip side, some argue it's a form of biasness, judging someone's choice based on appearance instead of their talent or character. And that's a valid point too. Tattoos don't equal criminal behavior, laziness, or lack of intelligence. But in many professional settings, people still associate face and neck tattoos with rebellious or non-conformity. Bottom line, society perception of tattoos is changing but slowly. If you are going into certain fields, visible tattoos, especially on your face, might limit your options. It doesn't mean you are not worthy. It means still have a long way to go in separating body art. Tattoos are personal expression, but hiding, that's still a judgment game. So guys, mind where you put your tattoos. Thank you so much guys for being part of this conversation. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share the video. See you in the next video and stay safe.